let's go from water to power. I mean, this, of course, was the story of the week, that the Australian energy regulator put out its draft decision on power prices. They'll rise by up to 9% from July the 1st. Now, according to analysis by Canstar, that means an increase of around $200 for New South Wales households, $120 for Queenslanders and $114 for South Australians in the new financial year. Now, you know, you're probably sick of seeing this. I hope you're sick of seeing this, actually, but I'm going to keep playing it right up to the election.
Reducing power prices by $275.
Reducing power prices by $275.
By 2025, $275 a year.
$275 a year.
We'll get power prices down by $275 a year.
$275 for the average house, lower in 2025 than today.
On July 1st in New South Wales, your power bill will be $1,000 more than Anthony Albanese promised they'd be this year. 2025 was what they said, $1,000 more. But don't worry, Chris Bowen has some prudent advice for you.
I think these figures show an important opportunity to remind Australians that you can do better and shop around for a better deal. Now, we've made it easier in the Albanese government to switch energy providers, and there are two websites which are very useful.
Fantastic, Kel. It's your fault that your power bill is not cheaper, because you should be shopping around. And the Cape Crusader, Mr. Bowen, has come to save the day.
Yeah, unfortunately, he keeps running that other sentence in the renewables are the cheapest, most reliable source of power.
We can see that.
And every time I hear him say that, I think, now, does Chris Bowen know he's lying? Or, in fact, does he believe this? If he believes it, there's a nice, comfortable room in one of those secure hotels for the terminally confused that he belongs in. If he knows he's lying, why does he go on saying it? It is the least reliable and most expensive form of power we can have. The one thing that comes out of this, and the reason for playing that clip again and again, is because people in this election have to look at the Albanese Labor government. I know that Albo's a personal friend of Joe's, and I don't want to hurt you, Joe, but they just have to look at them and say, why should we ever believe any promise ever again? I don't care what they promise. They can't be trusted. They don't deliver. We don't believe them.
And it was a very clear promise that was made, Joe. It was repeated nearly 100 times that by 2025, your power bill would decrease by $275. That has not happened. As I said before, in New South Wales, on average, from when they were elected to the financial year beginning July 1 this year, your bill will have gone up by more than $1,000. Does this cut through?
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. I didn't like the fact that they were being so unequivocal and so specific about the figure. There was modelling that showed that.
They could have said cut. They still didn't get that.
They could have just said, look, this is what the modelling shows. Hopefully it will be that. Maybe it'll be more. Maybe it will be less. Things change, obviously, but you don't actually put it as a concrete figure and as a concrete commitment when you clearly can't make that commitment because there are circumstances that are going to be beyond your control, like whether the wind blows or the sun shines or there's a war in Ukraine. So I think it was a silly commitment to make. I think it speaks to a broader thing as well. There was an interesting piece in The Australian with the WA Labor State Secretary saying, you know, you only ever just fight that one election at a time. You are always there in the war room and you do anything to win that election. And I actually think that is a very dangerous, and I can understand, I know lots of people who work on election campaigns and it's just all or nothing. But if you look at, the decline in vote in the two major parties because of a complete lack of faith and a lack of trust in them, you find that you're actually burning away supporters more than you're winning them. If you look at what, for example, Labor did with the Mediscare campaign in 2016, now people would say that was actually brilliant because we almost won government after just one term in opposition. It's like, yeah, you almost did, except you didn't. So you didn't get over the line, and now no one believes what you say about Medicare again, and of course they're trying to roll it out. And look, maybe it's a strong spot for them and a weak spot for them, but again, I think it diminishes the credibility. And again, with the power stuff, you make that commitment, say, well, we'll just promise anything about power, everything. You know, we'll bring the cost of living down. Cost of living is all Scott Morrison's fault. We'll reduce cost of living. We'll bring your power down by exactly this much by this year, which they knew was going to be an election year. How do you not just look at that and think, holy crap, that is a time bomb we could be another one-term government. So I think you do have to be
bomb's gone off.
strategic
The
about
bomb has gone off. And Evelyn, I said the other night that the coalition should just buy up ad space and run those grabs of Albanese and Bowen and Chalmers saying $275 over and over and over again leading into the election. Because, you know, cost of living continually rates as topic 1, topic 2 and topic 3 that people care about. Surely this has to damage the government.